Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you all had a good Christmas. I have a couple of members of the Border Patrol with us here today, and Chris Williams from FDLE. He's the supervisor at the Pensacola office. And we're going to talk to you about a very special case today. I came out probably a year and a half or 2 years ago and stated that we were forming an interdiction unit that would be operating on I-10. Well, they've been out there and they've gotten some busts, but yesterday they got a bust, first in Santa Rosa County history, human trafficking. So, 2 deputies are working the interstate, and by the way, this is a state, local, and federally government kind of task force, we could say, the interdiction unit. So they're working the interstate. They see a car acting suspicious, violating traffic laws, 3 different traffic laws to be exact. They pull them over. It's occupied by 2 Hispanic males. First one, Mr. Moreno here, Frankie Moreno, and the second is Jackson Perez Godines. These 2 guys are in the front seat. In the back seat are 2 children, Hispanic males as well. One thing leads to another. They start interviewing these guys, the 2 guys in the front seat. The stories don't match. Obviously something's going on. All 4 individuals are extremely nervous. So one thing leads to another. We call for FDLE. FDLE responds out to the interstate. And what basically occurred, the 2 individuals, Mr. Moreno as well, they get arrested on 2 trafficking, or excuse me, they get arrested for human trafficking and human smuggling. And Mr. Moreno here was a sex offender from Texas. And he had 2 boys in the back seat, 2 juvenile boys. So, the interdiction unit has paid off. It's been paying off, but this one, I mean, getting drugs off is one thing. Getting drugs off the street, that's one thing. But getting these guys off the street is really big, because this is what they do for a living. They take advantage of kids. And both of these guys are in the Milton Hilton on a $1 million bond right now. So they are not getting out anytime soon. And I'm gonna have Chris Williams come up for just a second and explain what they did in conjunction with us and the Border Patrol, and then you can ask questions after that.
Good afternoon. Chris Williams. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in Charge for FDLE's Pensacola Regional Operations Center. I want to start out by thanking Sheriff Johnson and his deputies for calling us quickly on this. Our local, state, federal partnerships are important to what we do every day, but very important in a case like this involving trafficking of kids. I'm not going to talk real specific about the arrest yesterday because it is still under investigation, has a statewide nexus, and we're still looking into things. But I do want to talk about human trafficking in general. It's more prevalent than most folks think. It's rather difficult to spot. His deputies are spot on in recognizing the signs of human trafficking. Attorney General Moody has a website that you can go to. It is YouCanStopHT, HT for humantrafficking.com, YouCanStopHT.com. And that website talks about some of the signs of human trafficking, and there are many, but we'd like the public to become familiar with that. If you become aware of something like that, call local law enforcement, call FDLE, report that activity or any suspicious activity. On the See Something, Say Something now. We will provide a news release at the conclusion of this press conference. It has the information that we can release right now. But again, it's an ongoing investigation. But I just want to again thank the sheriff for continued partnership and being able to arrest 2 bad guys and essentially rescue 2 young male juveniles yesterday. So it was a good day on the interstate.
Thank you, Chris. And also, I want to thank the Border Patrol. Anytime we call these guys, they respond out and they help. They're a big help. And they have a full plate, trust me. If you watch the news at 6 o'clock, they're always in it, especially at Texas. And you see them in California and Arizona, but it spreads over here too. As we just found out on our interstate, the trafficking comes through here. I believe that we're en route to Orlando.
Other parts of the state,
Yeah,
yes.
someplace south Florida was where they were going, and they come through Santa Rosa County to get there. So we make the stop, and next thing you know, we got 2 really bad guys off the street, and here we are. So, any questions? Yes, sir.
How are the two children related to the adults? Were they kidnapped? Were they taken, are they brought into the country, or were they just taken from Texas?
We can't get too specific, but they were not related to the two adults in any form or fashion. No relation whatsoever.
Where exactly did that traffic stop happen? And you said there were several violations. That, if you can go into more detail.
Well, the violations, one was an obscure tag, broken windshield, and tailgating were the three infractions that they ended up pulling the car over for. And what was the other part?
Where exactly did this traffic stop happen?
I-10, mile marker 26.
Eastbound or westbound? Eastbound?
Eastbound.
Eastbound, Mark. You said suspicious, acting suspicious, like, I mean, I know you guys sort of have a sense for that, but when you say that to the layman that doesn't, what do you mean by that?
Well, and maybe I misspoke. Basically, they pull them over for the traffic violations, and once they pull them over, they're acting suspicious. They're very nervous. And there's a difference. Everybody gets a little nervous when pulled over by law enforcement. But when you're visibly shaking and can't make eye contact, and obviously something's up, and that's what I talk about suspicious behavior.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you meant someone saw them acting suspicious and
No,
pulled
they
them
pulled them
over.
over on the three.
Oh, I
traffic
see,
violations.
I see. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
And what's the process of identifying the two boys? And do you have any idea where they're from?
We're not gonna go into that. We can say that they're not in the country legally. We can say that much. Yeah, that's the second charge, smuggling. And, you know, if you bring somebody into this country, you're an adult, and you bring somebody into this country that doesn't belong here, that's smuggling. So, human smuggling.
What about the two suspects? Were they here legally?
Mr. Moreno is a United States citizen. He's from Texas. I can't remember the other guy's last name. Help me out.
Perez?
Yes. Jackson, I'm just calling him Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson is not a U.S. citizen. He is from Guatemala.
And do you think this is part of a larger operation?
Oh, there's absolutely no doubt, yeah. Without a doubt. They're not gonna spend a lot of time and effort on just two children unless they do it on a regular basis. And that's just my opinion as the sheriff of Santa Rosa County. There's no point in just bringing two and not going back for more. So, yeah, I would say it's an organization, without a doubt.
And this is sorry.
Was this, is this believed to be part of a sex trafficking organization?
That we're not gonna comment. Not gonna comment on that.
This is a first big success for this unit. Talk about kind of how this makes you feel, knowing that, you know, you could have saved these boys.
Well, as I said, they've gotten drugs off the interstate before, and that's a good thing too, but when you rescue two children, you can't, it doesn't get better than that, especially when you have two dirtbags like this. You get these kids away from them, one of which was a sex offender in Texas, that makes you feel really good. And the deputies that actually made the stop, you know, best of the best.
What do you think this says about sex trafficking, knowing that you guys just happened to find these two kids on a random traffic stop? Do you think it's more prevalent than people think? And it's happened here. People, you know, drive by may not think that it happens here in Santa Rosa County.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's more prevalent. It's kind of like drugs, you know, we get a lot of drugs off the street, but we don't get a high percentage of all the drugs coming through this county. I mean, I can guarantee you, we, on a good month, may get 5% of what comes through this county. And the other 95%, other counties hopefully will get down the line, but it's the same way here. This is just the tip of an iceberg, that's all it is.
Are you guys identifying exactly how old the juveniles were? Were they teenagers, or how old were they?
We'll once we put out this report today, they'll still be doing, FDLE is gonna investigate even further, and they'll be ongoing press releases once we get more information and more stuff to put out. But right now, this is pretty much all we're gonna say on the matter. Yes?
Are the two suspects, is there any possibility that they could be part of a Central American criminal cartel?
I don't know right now. That's something that FDLE will probably discover, I'm sure. If they are, they'll find it out.
What are the next steps in this investigation?
I can tell you that we'll continue to follow up on this investigation, both within our own agency and also our federal partners. And I just want to point out to your point, it is more prevalent than people think. We're currently working other investigations across the state unrelated to this. They're long-term investigations. So when we make a rescue like this, is what I'm going to call a rescue, it's actually kind of rare to do that in law enforcement, to stumble upon something like this. And stumble is probably not a great word, because there's really good police work that led to it. But we'll continue to follow up on leads on this. Again, it goes all over the state, and it'll leave the state as well. But I can't really talk any more about that.
Anything else?
One last thing.
Yeah.
What, I don't know if you can say what the suspects were, what the kids, if they did say anything to you guys?
What the suspect said to us?
Yeah, the suspects or the kids?
Yeah, we can't really go into that. We can tell you that, Mr. Moreno, the, driver of the vehicle, wasn't totally cooperative, and I know this is gonna shock you guys, so get prepared. They lied to us about what they were doing and why they were doing what they were doing, so. These guys, like I said, these mutts right here, they've had run-ins with the law before. They know what they're doing, and, you know, they're not gonna tell us, come out and confess. They know better than that. But now with $1 million bond, they're not getting out. They won't be getting out until they go to trial, so that's a good thing. These guys can't pick on kids after this.
What'd they tell you they were doing?
I don't know exactly. I know I read the report, and we're not really gonna go into it, but I could tell it was all BS. I could tell, just reading it, so. But you kinda expect that from guys like this. If you're trafficking in children, yeah, it doesn't get much lower than that.
Is there anything that the community can do to help you all in these types of?
Sure, the main thing is see something, say something. If you see something that looks suspicious, and we gave you the website to look it up on, you know, the signs of human trafficking. You see something, call us, that's what we're here for. And I can't tell you how many times we get called to a situation, and they're like, I'm sorry to bother you, and, well, you're not bothering us, it's our job. Call us when you need us, and we're gonna be there for you. In the same way with FDLE and Border Patrol, we're here to help. You see a lot of things on TV about cops doing bad things or whatever. That's a very small percentage of the badge. A very small percentage of people wearing a badge do stuff like that. We're here to help, and I guarantee you, if you call us, we'll be there for you. Anything else? Thank y'all for coming. We really do appreciate it.